everybody, welcome back to DIY Builds in the great state of Texas. And I'm joined here by Duke today, as you can see. Say hi, Duke. Duke hasn't been in my videos in a while. I don't know if you can see him real good. Let me move him over here. Say hi, Duke. And he just wanted to say hello to everybody. He's in a good mood. It's the day after Christmas, and he's having a good time. So I know everybody's been asking about Duke, so here's Duke. And he just wanted to say hi before we get started. So, say hi, Duke. Say hi to everybody. You want to go look in the window? Alright, go. Alright, let me move him out of the way so we can talk. Anyway, hope everybody had a good Christmas. And what we're going to talk about today is we're going to talk about drilling holes or making holes in your project. And whenever you get your project, like this plastic box right here, that's going to be my next project that I'm working on. Obviously it has no holes in it. So you're going to have to put the holes in here somehow, whether you're working on a plastic ammunition box, a metal box, a cooler, or whatever you want. I mean, you can make a radio of anything that your heart desires. I've seen people make them out of trash cans, believe it or not. There's one guy's got a YouTube video. He made one out of a gas can. I thought that was pretty cool, so props to him. So anyway, how are we going to get some holes in this box? Well, you're going to need a few tools to do that. So that's what we're going to talk about today, the different tools you can use to make holes in your project. Now, probably the most basic tool you're going to have is, well, before we talk about that, let me say number one, I'm going to talk about this again, is safety. Safety glasses. You've got to protect your eyes. You cannot replace your eyes if you injure them. So, and Duke's going to come talk about eyes. Anyway, you have to have a pair of safety glasses to protect your eyes. So please, before you do any kind of cutting, any kind of drilling or sawing or what have you, please spend the $6 and get you some eye protection. It's well worth the money because your eyes are priceless. Okay, that being said, the number one tool I think everybody's going to need if you're going to build a project is going to be a jigsaw. You have to have a jigsaw because this one here, a jigsaw can do probably 80 or 90% of your holes. Those are your speaker holes, if you're cutting holes for a radio or any kind of odd shaped holes or round holes. The jigsaw will do it. You don't have to spend a lot of money. I got this one at the pawn shop for $16. It's used, but it's in perfect condition. Feels really good in my hand. Has blade storage. And now when you get ready to use a jigsaw, you need to match the blade to the material that you're cutting. Now this one here is a multi-purpose blade because I cut plastic with mine. Now I do metal occasionally, so I do have a metal cutting bit right in here. I also have a wood bit because occasionally I need to cut some wood, but this fine-tooth metal bit is for cutting metal, and it works really good. And these are real easy. Just press the button, the bit pops out, and you can just store your bit right in there. Works really good. And just move it along. You want to use your thumb to kind of guide it along as you cut, and just follow the line. And be real precise, and just take your time. And again, your preferences, whatever your budget will allow. Like I said, this one here was $16, does the job, works great. If you want to spend the money for a DeWalt or whatever you want to spend. I mean, personally, I'd like to have a Porter cable, but that's beside the point. A jigsaw is going to be what you need to do most of your cutting. Now, to make smaller holes in your project, and drill holes for things like, switches and things like that, you're going to need a regular drill. Now, this was my first one I started with. This here is a Black & Decker lithium 20 volt. It only does about 600 RPM, but it's a fantastic overall drill for the hobbyist who's working on projects. It'll drill holes, it'll drive screws. It has an adjustable 10-position clutch, so you won't overdrive your screws and strip them out. Works really well. Feels really good in the hand. It's very light, very agile, and it works great. And this drill serves me up a lot of hole drilling and things like that. It worked perfect. I did step up to a bigger drill just for making holes because I use larger hole saws for my speakers. And I use this one just for drilling, not drilling, for driving my screws. So this is my driver. Works really, really well. And it's a great drill if you're on a budget. This drill I think costs less than $50 at the hardware store. And it works really, really well. Now I did step up for drilling holes to a Porter cable. I've always been a fan of Porter cable. I like the design. It feels absolutely fantastic in your hand. It's really good. Has a little light right there. Has a 22 position clutch if you want to drive screws. I use it mainly for drilling holes. It did come with 2 batteries and a big beefy charger. So if you're charging one battery, you can be using the other one. And if you want just an overall good drill and you do have the budget, this drill is about $100. It does have an adjustable speed here, and it'll do about 1500 RPM. Feels really good in the hand. Great drill for the hobbyist and working around the house. So you could also use this in your garage for projects, hanging sheetrock or whatever you want to do around the house. I did have a Craftsman for several years, and it served me great. I remodeled my mother's home with the Craftsman, but it just, I believe the charger quit working several years ago, and it just gave up. And I went and looked at other Craftsmen, because I always loved Craftsmen, but they just don't feel that good in my hand. They felt very top heavy and forward heavy, and this one just feels so balanced in my hand. It feels really, really good. I really like it a lot. So this is what I use for all my drilling needs. Now as far as making holes, you want to go ahead and invest in a set of regular spiral drill bits, and they sell kits that have all different sizes. I use this one here. You see it's gunked up with plastic bits right now because I use it for making holes for my charging port for my lithium-ion batteries, and I have them at all different sizes, and these are great for making all kinds of drill holes. You can get a set of these, fairly inexpensive. You can buy them one at a time, or I say just go ahead and buy a set. I have a set that I've had for probably 15 years, and they'll last you your lifetime if you take care of them. Now the other thing you can use, now these will not work with wood. These will work with plastic, and these will not work with metal, but they'll work with plastic. Is a spade bit, and they'll also work with coolers. If you're working with coolers, the coolers are made of plastic. And these work great for making a hole. Like see, this one here is the perfect size for this switch right here that I use, a common size switch that I use for my projects. And it does really good. The only downside of spade bits is they do make a little bit of a rough cut, and they do make a lot of shaving. So you have plastic going everywhere. But if you're on a budget, these work really good. But I did find another alternative to the spade bits. Then at Harbor Freight Tools, they sell these step drills, and as you can see, they have different size steps, and as you drill, you just go down further and further until you reach the size that you need. And I found that this particular size step right here is perfect for that switch. And it comes in a 2-pack for $19, so it's worth the investment. And this one here I actually use for drilling the holes for my voltage gauges and my USB charging ports. And it works really, really good, works perfect. And these are $20 at Harbor Freight, and I think they're worth the investment for drilling, different size holes for switches and voltmeters and things like that. Now, if you want to drill a little bit larger hole, like something like this opening right here, you can use your jigsaw, and it will work perfectly fine. And nothing wrong with that. Or, like I did, is I noticed that I used these quite a bit. I'll show you. This is my zombie box here, and you can see I have 3 different ones here. I use these for charging ports for the lead-acid batteries. And on this particular model, I have them set up here for my speaker ports. And the same thing over here on my Batman box. As you can see, I did the same thing. I went ahead and, painted these, and also for the port tube as well. Oh, by the way, I used the step drills to drill the hole for the antenna right there. So I noticed I was using this size, making this size opening quite a bit. So what I went ahead and did, put this back away, I went ahead and bought a dedicated hole saw, and it came with the arbor. I think it was $13 or $14. And the nice thing about this hole saw, this is made by Cobalt. You can get different brands. Linux is a good one. This is sharp enough to cut metal. It'll cut plastic. I mean, it'll go through plastic like a hot knife through butter. It's incredible, and it was well worth the investment again, because I do sell my projects that I make, so I do drill quite a bit of holes this size here. So to me, it was worth the money to, instead of trying to do it with a jigsaw, what you can do is to go ahead and get a dedicated drill bit. I mean, a hole saw, pardon me. Now, I did the same thing over here. This is a 5¼ inch speaker that I tend to use, and it works really well. And I found that the hole size you need is 4½ inches to make the hole fit for this box. And I didn't have a dedicated drill bit for that, so for the longest time I was using the jigsaw to cut the holes. And it did good. It left a little bit of a rough hole, but it doesn't give you exact fit. So what I did was, I went ahead and spent the money, and I bought this hole saw right here. And this one here is, let's see here, 4½ inches. And it's perfect for a 5¼ inch speaker. It actually gives you a perfect size hole. And again, I drill a lot of holes this size. So this is a common size speaker that I use for my projects. So I went ahead and bought a dedicated hole saw. And now this was $40. It was not cheap. But again, it'll go through metal, it'll go through plastic like nothing in 10 seconds. And it came with the arbor, which holds to the drill. And it works absolutely perfect. And if you're going to be doing a lot of drilling of the same size hole, I believe it is worth the investment. Now, let's say you're going to be doing some really precise drilling. Let's say you're going to be installing this little radio right here. It takes a very finely cut square hole, or, let me look back here, or for instance, let's say you're going to be cutting in a car radio, like this one here on the Batman box. The jigsaw will work fairly good. I have cut these holes out with jigsaws before. But what I would recommend using, if your budget allows, and again, I'm just giving you guys some ideas. I know we're all on a budget. Believe me, I'm on a budget myself. I would go ahead and invest in a Dremel tool. This is a Dremel 4000. I really like it a lot. It's got adjustable speed here, and a little button here to change out the different bits. And you can get all kinds of cutting bits and sanding bits and all kinds of things. This is the bit that I use to cut a lot of holes in, and you can do a lot of precise work, and a lot of things you can't do with a jigsaw. And it works really good for cutting these really close, tiny, precise holes. And if your budget allows, I'd say go ahead and invest in a Dremel tool. It'll make your life so much easier. And I'll give you a perfect example. Let me get one of the boxes out here. I can show you. Let's see. Okay, let me show you here on this zombie box here. As you can see right here, I actually had to trim the speaker here. There actually was a bar under there as well. And let me see if I can raise this up so you can see up under there where the speaker actually fits in there. I actually had to trim that. And I think I can show you better on this box over here. This is my Texans box that I did. And again, I had to trim off the speaker here. You can see where I've actually cut the top of the speaker to fit up under there. And I actually had to trim that piece out there by going up under here with the Dremel and cutting that piece out. And that would be very, very difficult with just a jigsaw. And it works really, really well. Excuse me. And I also use the Dremel to cut this hole right here for this radio. And let me see if I can bring up the inside here so you can see that. And you can see right here the hole that I cut. Now you have to be careful with the Dremel because it tends to want to melt the plastic a little bit, so you got to take your time. And the other thing with the Dremel is it likes to throw off little shards of melted plastic all over your project. So what I suggest you do, and even with the jigsaw to protect your work, is lay down painter's tape over your project and put your pencil line on that before you cut the holes, and that'll protect the plastic underneath. You can see here I do got a couple of blemishes on here because it's not perfect, but it does do the job. And so that's basically it for cutting holes. As you can see, I used this hole saw here for cutting this hole. As a matter of fact, there's a video of me making this particular box. It's DIY boom boxes in Texas, same channel you're on right now. And I think it's video number 3 of the NFL build, or football build. And you can actually watch me drilling these holes for this project. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, again, I can't stress enough the eye protection for, especially you guys cutting the metal. You sure don't want the hot metal shavings going into your eyes. Also, again, if you're using the jigsaw or the Dremel, they're very loud. Please get some earplugs, some kind of ear protection. Protect those ears. I mean, when you're cutting that sheet metal with this jigsaw, it sounds like machine gun fire. It's very, very loud. So please protect your hearing when you guys are doing your drilling. Alright guys, I'm going to be right back. I'm going to show you guys a sneak preview of a project I'm about to work on. So I've got to move the camera back a little bit. So thanks for watching, and I'll be right back with a sneak preview of a big project I'm working on. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I am back, and what do you think about this big monster right here? This is a Mega Toolbox. I'll get the tape measure out right here. This thing is 26 inches long, and it's 10¼ inches tall, almost 11 inches tall. And this is going to be my Monster Mega Boombox, and I can't wait. It's going to be so amazing. And I'll give you kind of a sneak preview of what I'm going to do here. I'm going to put 6x9 inch speakers, kickers, up here on top, and of course I'm going to shave this down a little bit to get them to fit smoothly. I'm going to have 2 kicker 5¼ inch speakers right here in this area in the front. We're going to have a Pioneer double din CD player, AM/FM radio with Bluetooth. Below here we're going to have the voltage meter and USB chargers, and across the top here we're going to have the switches. Now on the back we're going to have 2 base ports in each corner, and we're also going to have a charging port on the back. We're going to have an antenna on this side, and on this side over here we're going to have a switch with a 110 volt plug. Now on the inside, in the bottom here, we're going to have a battery on each corner, 12 volt battery, 8 amp hours, so we'll have a total of 16 amp hours of battery power. So it'll probably run 4 to 6 hours just on batteries. Then in the middle, under the radio, we're going to have a AC to DC power supply, which is going to supply power when it's plugged into the house. Pardon me. And then over here on this side somewhere, we're going to have on the inside a 400 watt amplifier, 4-channel, to power this big boy. And it's going to be very, very heavy. The box is rated to carry 30 pounds, and I hope I can pull it off without breaking off the handle. And it's going to be amazing. And so I just want to give you a sneak preview. I'm still waiting on all the parts to come in because this build is going to be very expensive. So I'm buying it in pieces, and this is the main piece right here. Now if you guys want to build you one of these like this, I will give you some details. The name of the company is Contico, C-O-N-T-I-C-O, Professional Brand Toolboxes, and this is a commercial toolbox. It's 26 by 12.5 by 8.5, and it is plastic, so it's easy for drilling holes. I was going to paint it, but I really like this color. Because one reason I'm doing this is I'm a big fan of the old school tool boom boxes, and I had one when I was a teenager, and this is going to be my big boom box. And I can't wait. I'm so excited about this project. I'm going to be filming every step of the way, so when all the parts come in, I'm going to show you guys a video of the parts, and I'm going to videotape each step. It'll all be in one video, so you don't have to worry about watching multiple videos. And then I'll do a separate video on a sound test, just in case YouTube decides to cut me off on the music. So anyway, guys, it's just a sneak preview of a big project I'm working on. I do have another project I'm working on, which hopefully I'll have that done in a couple of weeks, and I will be uploading that video. I'm working on a new design for my boom boxes. I'm going to be putting the speakers in the front instead of the sides, and trying to see if that'll be a big seller. So look forward to that. Thank you so much for watching my channel. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I'm trying to get up a new video at least every 2 weeks. Things have been kind of busy because my wife's been in the hospital for the past few weeks, so I really haven't been able to do a whole lot. I've been working a lot of hours. And thank you guys for all your support. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'll try to answer them. But the best place to reach me to ask questions is my Facebook page, which is I Love All Things Radio. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Y'all have a great day. Have a great holiday weekend. We got New Year's Eve coming up. Everybody, please be careful. And I hope everybody had a good Christmas. This is my Christmas gift to myself. And actually, a good friend of mine got this for me, and for Christmas, and I want to thank them for that. And can't wait to get this thing going. But we've got some other builds in between. So this is just we call it a preview of coming attractions. So everyone have a great day. This is Phil with DIY Boom Boxes in Texas, and we'll see you next time.